know that the NBA season is right around the corner when it's already media day, and with there being 28 different teams yapping about how their season is going to go, I figured I will take you guys through the highlights and the things that you need to know about the day. Now, I do want to clarify that I might not talk about your favorite team, and that's not because it's only bad teams that I'm going to skip. Matter of fact, there's actually a lot of bad teams that I will be talking about. One of them that's so bad, they even said themselves in media day that they are going to be nothing but terrible and not even try to win games. I know that sounds crazy and I'm kind of getting ahead of myself already, but I also might skip some of those contending teams like the Boston Celtics, where we kind of know what they're going to say already. They're going to say that they have to be better and they have to go for it again and they need to win their back-to-back to really prove people wrong, whatever it is. But since I did say that I'm going to be talking about bad teams, we should start off with the Atlanta Hawks. I feel so damn bad for Trae Young that they wasted his time and they wasted part of his career trying to do this DeJounte Murray experiment. I thought when they even made that move that it was just a bad decision. I didn't think it was going to work. I thought that it was ridiculous. Trae Young is a guy that I always felt like needed a good big and needed a good center by his side to really help expand his game. And they had the #1 pick this year. Unfortunately, this wasn't the Cooper Flag draft, and instead they got Zachary Ricochet. I think that's how you say his name. Now, I'm not going to talk shit about him because we haven't seen him play. I know that he struggled during Summer League and everyone makes fun of him. I think he had like 0 for 12 in his first like 2 games or something like that. Like, he did have some pretty bad Summer League stats, but until he has a couple games in the NBA, then we can really start judging and talking about his game. But I don't know, just seeing the Hawks media day, I don't think that they have much going for them. Moving forward, since we're on the topic of bad teams, I have the Brooklyn Nets on my list. I know we get fooled every single year, at least I do, into thinking that Ben Simmons is going to do something this year. Listen, I said earlier, I think it was at the end of last year or maybe even before that, I was like, I'm not falling for it anymore. I'm sick of thinking that Ben Simmons is going to come back and be this player that we all wanted him to be. Guys, he got me. He got me. Hey, listen, I don't know. Maybe it's his looks, right? He's like a good look. Okay, it should be mentioned as well. Like, he has been suffering through a lot of back injuries and actual problems. I know that we just like to think that he doesn't like basketball and that's why he just sits out, but like, he was going through injuries, and I think if he's fully healthy, he says that he's going to be ready to play competitive basketball on day 1, opening night. If that's the truth, I'm excited to see what he can do and what he can provide. The Charlotte Hornets, I don't know much about their media day specifically, things that they talked about, things that they went through, whatever. I'm assuming it's like everyone else's media day where they just talk about how they want to be a better team, blah, 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 blah. But the reason why I have them on this list, because I really wanted to share once again, if you are sleeping on the Charlotte Hornets, you better wake up. Brandon Miller, I have so much hope for. I think that this is going to be his breakout year. I did not like him at first. I will admit, I was a Scoot Henderson fanboy, and I did not think that Brandon Miller was a better player. But the Hornets, they did their shit. They made the right pick. I'm excited for that. I hope that LaMelo Ball is healthy and we can see him play his game as well. The Cavaliers media day was interesting, although I didn't watch all of it. The big highlight that I kind of saw was just that Donovan Mitchell was happy to be able to focus on basketball and not be asked, you know, hey, are you going to leave this team? Hey, do you want to be a Knick? Hey, are you going to Brooklyn? Like, he didn't have to deal with that. No one was talking about Miami Heat rumors to his face. He was able just to really say, like, look, now you guys understand that I do want to be here in Cleveland. That was very nice to see. I did enjoy that. I know that that's not too much of like a deep dive into their media day, but I felt like that was important. The Dallas Mavericks, and this isn't even about their media day overall. It's just this video of Klay Thompson and these photos, I guess, of Klay Thompson in a Dallas Mavericks uniform, especially with 31 on his chest. Like, oh man, it looks so bad. It looks so bad. And it's not because it's like a bad move for him to go to Dallas or whatever. Like, I'm happy that he left and he's trying to do something with the rest of his career. It's just, it's going to take some time to get used to, okay? I think we can all agree on that. Speaking about another sad situation, the Golden State Warriors, once again, didn't really see much from theirs. I did see Kuminga's new haircut, but I feel like the highlight from their media day was Stephen Curry talking about not being able to get Paul George and not being able to get Lauri Markkanen, because that hurt. It's one thing to lose Klay Thompson, right? Lose someone, even if you don't think he's valuable or you think that he wasn't going to be good anymore, whatever. To lose him as a player, as a personality, as someone who was on this team for his entire career, next to Curry, next to Draymond, to lose him is one thing. If you're replacing him with a Paul George or you're replacing him with a Lauri Markkanen, things are good. You can kind of tell yourself, like, okay, yeah, we lost him, but look at who we brought in. I mean, we brought an all-NBA, you know, all-star, whatever. whatever. But it's just a void. It's just a big void now. And knowing that they didn't even like have a chance to get any of those players, Curry seemed upset. He seemed sad. He seemed like, damn, this team has no fucking pull anymore because they're not winning anything. Okay, I know that I've been talking about a lot of teams that I'm buying stock in all of a sudden, but the LA Clippers are one of those teams that not even like basketball wise, just overall like branding, new arena, some new personality to the team. I am starting to become an LA Clippers fan. What makes me excited about this year, I know that they lost Paul George, and that could be seen as a huge loss, and it is when I see James Harden talking like the way he's talking right now, which is like, hey, Paul George is gone. Who knows when Kawhi's gonna even fucking play in these games? It's my turn now. It can either be scary or it can be very exciting. He was talking about Houston James Harden. He's saying, you guys didn't say that was winning basketball. Look at what Luka did. He played my exact same play style and made it to the finals. Well, I'm about to show you guys up now. He is in the best shape that we've seen him be in a very long time. I am very excited for what James Harden specifically is going to bring to this Clippers team. Not to mention, hopefully we get another, season of Kawhi being healthy. We say that every single year. And I think I made the prediction in a TikTok or in a YouTube video. I can't remember exactly. But my prediction for the Clippers season was like, it starts off with James Harden damn near being like Houston James Harden. Obviously, it's kind of crazy to say that he's going to be like that caliber. But like, we are going to see James Harden take over the team and be the offensive guy. He's going to be dropping some crazy points, whatever. And then Kawhi is going to come back. Kawhi is going to start dominating. James Harden will kind of go back to a number two, kind of play like a softer role a bit. If healthy, who knows where they go from there. But I do think James Harden is going to have himself a very nice season, and I am here for it. I'm excited. I want that to happen. The Lakers really didn't do much. Obviously, talking about JJ Redick, was an interesting aspect going into this season. I feel like that conversation has kind of died down, but trust me, he will be the first person that people start talking about when this team starts losing. And then, of course, you have LeBron James and Bronny, which was, you could argue, the craziest part about this entire media day was just seeing them both in their Lakers uniforms, taking photos, sitting on the media desk and talking about stories from when Bronny was growing up. Like, it's just so cool. Like, hearing those stories, it just doesn't feel real. Like, knowing that LeBron has been in the league for so damn long, I think it's 21 years now. He is now playing alongside his kid. That's just crazy. I do want to make a video just talking about that because LeBron hinted at some crazy things while talking in today's media day where it's a little bit interesting, but it was very cool nonetheless. The Memphis Grizzlies shocked me. I knew that they were going to be a good team, right? I knew that when Ja is back, really any team that has Ja Morant is going to be a good team. But when I saw this starting five photo, it really like made me remember, like, oh shit, like this is a good Grizzlies team. I think a lot of it rides on Zach Edey. If he can be the best version of himself and if he can really provide, this team is scary. This team is an easy, mid-level table type playoff team. And I think a lot of people really forgot that, which is understandable because it's not like it's just been Ja Morant that sat out a lot of the games. It's been like the entire fucking roster. They've pulled fucking Uber drivers to come play in their games. And so it's like, I don't think many people are wrong for forgetting about their team or forgetting that they can be good. As for the Miami Heat, I have absolutely nothing to talk about when it comes to the actual team or the conversations that they were having this year. But what I will say is that Jimmy Butler disappointed all of us by not pulling up with some crazy ass hairdo. And I'm probably the most pissed off about that specifically because if you look at my TikTok page, two of my most popular videos are me talking about Jimmy Butler's media day hairstyle. So Jimmy, you costed me a lot of money by missing your fucking flight and arriving late to media day. That just pisses me off. Maybe next year, who knows? What I will say was that Tyler Hero did shave his head, so that was something. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the Milwaukee Bucks because I do want to make like a full video talking about them because this media day really showed us a lot about their team and maybe what to expect from them. What I will say, the one thing that did kind of shock me was hearing that Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo didn't work out at all together all summer. They would text, they would chat, whatever the hell. There were plans to work out, but they never actually worked out all summer. The good news for the Bucks fans out there is that they do still feel very connected. They still feel like things will, work out. Dame has said that he feels better now than he did at any point last year, which once again, that's something that I said. I said Damian Lillard is not going to have a good first year in Milwaukee because it's such a huge adjustment. He's moving his entire life, everything that he knows, to Milwaukee. So I'm not going to talk too much on that, but I do see them being like a dark horse in the East. The New York Knicks had a funny media day because they couldn't talk about the cat trade because nothing has been finalized yet. So the entire time, Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart just pretended to not know anything about it. I mean, Jalen Brunson was pretending to not even know who Karl Anthony Towns was.
Who's Carl? Don't know who that is. Don't know who that is.
The overall mood over in Philadelphia seems to be very high. Joel Embiid seems to be super excited to have Paul George on his team, which we kind of knew he was going to be happy about when they were doing that broadcast for, I think, the NBA Finals or the Conference Finals. I can't remember. And then Tyrese Maxey is obviously just a happy guy in the first place. Paul George said that he's never played with an elite guard and an elite center at the same time, so he can't wait for this season. Now, will they make it to a Conference Finals? I don't know. I'll let you guys comment and predict that. Of course, you have my Sacramento Kings, who had themselves a great media day as well. We found out that Keon Ellis will be in the starting rotation, playing at the number 2, which means that Kevin Huerter is obviously still injured, won't be able to play, and then Malik Monk is going to maintain his 6-man role. Mike Brown really likes him in that position. I do as well, so I think that that's great. Love this for Keon Ellis. I am so damn happy to see it. I think it's what's for the best for this team. DeMar DeRozan, of course, in his new jersey. I mean, everything just looks so exciting with this Kings team. The attitude was up. Everyone's happy. Everyone's having a good time. And the very last team that I want to talk about, and the team that I actually mentioned in the very start of this video, is the Toronto Raptors. I was genuinely blown away with what they were saying in this year's media day. They had players, coaches, executives sitting there at that desk and saying, guys, we are by no means going for a championship. I think it was Jakob Poeltl or someone, I can't remember exactly who it was, who was at the desk. But they were like, we're not going to try to win games for the sake of like losing out on development. And it's like, wait, but isn't winning games like developing players? Like, wait, they were literally saying, we are not going to win games. We do not even want to try to win games. And it's like, it's one thing to like be like, you know, okay, it's kind of clear that the Raptors aren't really trying this year. But for them to say it kind of just feels like a slap to the face if I'm a Raptors fan, because it's not like their team is like terrible. Yeah, they're not going to make the play-in team, but like, it's not that bad. Either way, those are all the teams that I had to talk about on here. If I missed your team or if I didn't talk about them, I apologize. Maybe we could talk about it down in the comments below. If you leave a comment telling me how you feel about maybe a team that I talked about or a team that I missed on, I read and respond to everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed. And man, I cannot wait for the NBA season to start back up. Training camp is starting soon, and preseason is like damn near just like a week away. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.